Hello and welcome to Baking Basics. My name is Rebecca Bonnell and today I'll be showing you how to make banana blueberry bread. This recipe is great for family gatherings, holidays, and even a tasty treat to share with your family. At the end of this video, you will know how to make an absolutely amazing banana blueberry bread that will have your friends, family, and guests begging for more, including the recipe. To get started, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need some measuring utensils, mixing bowls, mixing utensils, your ingredients, loaf pans, a cooling rack, and a non-stick cooking spray. I have already measured out and mashed and mixed some of our ingredients, but let's go over them so you know what you need. You're going to need 1 cup of sugar, a half cup of cooking oil, olive oil, canola oil, coconut oil, they all work, 2 eggs, which I have already mixed, at least 6 ounces of blueberries. You can use more depending on how much of a blueberry flavor you want in your bread. And I have already actually roughly mixed those as well. 3 bananas, which I have also mashed. 2 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of vanilla, 3 tablespoons of milk, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. So to begin, we're going to take a large mixing bowl. You're going to want to take the 1 cup of sugar and the half cup of oil, and we're going to mix this together. You want to make sure that it is very well blended. Make sure that there is no dry patches of the sugar and that it's all completely soaked in oil. Next, we're going to take the 2 eggs, and at this point you can either crack and beat them or you can do it beforehand to help with prep. You're going to pour that into the same mixture, and you're going to mix very well. Next, take your 3 mashed bananas. Chunks are fine. It kind of gives a little bit more of a consistency to the bread. And you can also add your blueberries at this time. You want these to be roughly mashed because you want some juice so that the blueberry flavor goes throughout the bread, but you also want the texture of the chunks. Now we're going to mix this together. And you'll see some blue coloring go through your bread from where the blueberry juice has kind of spread through. You're going to put this to the side and we're going to go to our dry ingredients. Take a medium mixing bowl and you're going to combine the 2 cups of flour, your 1 teaspoon of baking soda, your half teaspoon of salt, and your half teaspoon of baking powder. And you're going to mix these. You want to make sure that everything is evenly distributed, which your sifter will help with that when you add it to your wet mixture. So then, you're going to take your large mixing bowl with your oil, sugar, and your fruit, and you're going to sift in the dry ingredients. There's a couple different sifters you can use. I'm just using a mesh one. It makes it a little bit easier. You're going to pour your dry ingredients into the mesh. It's okay if some doesn't make it in and makes it into the other bowl. And you want to sift this into your wet mixture. To do that, you kind of shake left and right and use your hand to give it a hard surface to hit into, and this will force the flour and all the other dry ingredients to come out the bottom of the mesh. Doing this will allow the baking powder and baking soda to be evenly distributed through the bread so that it raises evenly and cooks evenly. Next, you're going to take your whisk and you want to mix this. Make sure that it is mixed thoroughly. You do not want to have chunks of flour that you're biting into because that will not taste very good. Next thing and the last thing you're going to add is your 3 tablespoons of milk and your half teaspoon of vanilla extract. Once again, you're going to mix this to make sure that it's fully incorporated into your mixture. Next, you're going to need your baking pans. I've already sprayed these with nonstick cooking spray. You can use Pam and olive oil spray, coconut oil spray, butter and flour, anything that you know you can use to make sure that nothing sticks to the pans. You're going to want to take your mixture and fill the pans up about half to 3/4 of the way full. It really depends on the size of pans that you're using. These are a little bit larger, so they'll be halfway. You're going to take a spatula. First, begin by pouring in. And then use your spatula to scrape the sides of the bowls to get everything else out. Try to make them as even as possible. If you don't, you will have to probably pull one loaf out before the other because it's going to be done cooking before the other one. Next, slightly shake the pans. This will even out all of the mixture so that you don't have lumps and it won't cook unevenly. Last thing we're going to do is we have already preheated up our oven to 350 degrees. So we're going to put these in the center rack in the middle and cook them for 30 minutes to an hour. That time difference really will be the oven, how fast it cooks, and how evenly it cooks. And we'll return when the bread is done. Welcome back. I've already checked the bread and I know that it's done, so we're going to go ahead and pull that out of the oven. There's a few ways to check the doneness of the bread. One is you see that there's a nice golden brown top. The other is to take a toothpick. You're going to insert that into the center of the loaf. If it comes out clean or has a few moist breadcrumbs on it, you're good. If it comes out with the dough on it, it probably needs to cook a little bit longer. So I have let this one cool off for about 5 minutes, which you want to do to ensure that it releases from the pan without ripping or tearing. So I'm going to go ahead and take this loaf and stick it onto the cooling pan. This sheet will allow air to get underneath and over so it cools off a lot faster. I have a loaf that's already done. So we're going to try to see how it turned out. It's delicious. So now you have a quick, easy recipe that you can go to for family gatherings, holidays, gifts, a tasty treat for your family, and your friends, family, and guests will absolutely be begging for the recipe. Happy baking!